Ani, Kinamagi Nene Ireland Indigenous, and welcome to the season opener of our Social Studies Explorer. Today's edition, Geography, Lesson 1. Well, welcome into today's video. These are a new series of videos with our new curriculum. Unlike some of the previous seasons where I would go ahead and read to you all of the content that was there, TCI has a student website where you can log in and have it read to you. So these videos will focus solely on highlights, showing important ideas, some supplementary videos, things that'll help you complete those tasks, even if you're at home. You will find these videos in our Google Classroom, and they will be shared with the items like this Google slide, some reteach documents, an occasional assignment, depending on what we need to do. You can complete assignments if you're absent using the Google or your TCI login from the Google Classroom, or you can write it in your book, depending on the situation. Our learning objective for today's lesson, students will be able to list 3 questions that could serve to answer the compelling question as listed on page 3 of their Social Studies Alive textbook. What items do you need for this lesson? Your Social Studies Alive textbook, your unit inquiry project document, and a pencil. And obviously internet connection because, you're watching this video. At any point during these lessons, if you need to get an item or you need additional time, please feel free to pause the video and unpause it when you're ready. This allows you to take control of the timing, and allows me not to put 7 minutes of downtime and bore everyone who watches the video. So you will see me at points say, or you'll hear me more appropriately, say, feel free to pause the video and unpause when you're ready. That's that cue for you at home. Our vocabulary for today's lesson, geography, which is a science that deals with the description, distribution, and interaction of the diverse physical, biological, and cultural features of the Earth's surface. The word graph has to do with writing. The word part geo has to do with Earth. So we'll be kind of writing about Earth. And when we think geography, we often think of things like landforms and mountains and rivers, but it's more than that. It's how people use the land, for instance. So we'll be kind of touching on pieces of that throughout this lesson, and especially the next couple lessons while we're in the geography section. The word visual means attained or maintained by sight, and evidence is something that furnishes proof. If you were in class, I would have asked you to take a moment and look through the textbook and come back with some of the items we're learning about this year. But for those of you at home, those topics include the geography of the United States. And that's a rather short 5 lessons or so at the beginning. Then we'll be moving into Indigenous Studies, looking at the history of North America prior to colonization. We'll look at the colonial era where the Spanish and the English control much of North America and touch a little bit on French control in this region. We'll be looking at the Revolutionary War, the events that led up to it, and the conduct of the war. And then we will wrap up with the Articles of Confederation and the Constitution. There may be additional topics that are added, but these are the key ones that are assigned to us via our grade level content expectations or state standards. If you happen to have your book with you, you can turn to page 2 and pause the video and answer these questions, and then unpause the video when you're ready. I encourage you to do that now. Welcome back for those of you that paused the video. There will be some information about these questions a little bit later in this lesson. I have shared the TCI video for this unit inquiry project. On page 3, you'll find the compelling question. The unit storyline says a world map created in 1507 is a close duplicate of the map scholars believe Columbus used to plan his voyage across the Atlantic. The map clearly shows the Caribbean islands, but depicts the rest of North America as a gigantic island, potentially Japan. As Columbus sailed west across the Atlantic, he hoped to find a direct trade route to Japan and the rest of Asia. Instead, he ended up in the Caribbean. And beyond that, the Americas, 2 huge continents, North and South America, filled with many different people and exciting natural resources. The unit compelling question, did the benefits of European exploration outweigh the costs? During this lesson and in this section, I do encourage you to think of in 2 minds. Some students may approach this from a Eurocentric point of view and consider, how colonization benefited Europe. As Indigenous students, we may be looking at it in a very different way. So I'd like you to take a moment and, after pausing the video, to list 3 questions you have about the unit storyline and compelling question. You may go ahead and pause the video now. Welcome back. I would say our next thing to consider is make sure those questions are related somehow to the compelling question. And that's one of the first things that I will check once I look at them in class. Now I'm going to show you a video section. This comes from the TCI curriculum.
Look closely at this image. What landmasses can you identify on this map? Pause the video if you need more time to discuss. Asia is on the map. Here is the continent of Africa. Europe is located above Africa. How is North America shown? A small part of North America is shown, but it looks like a bunch of islands. Europeans created this map in the 1500s. What might they have used it for? This world map, created in 1507 by German mapmaker Martin Waldseemüller, is a close duplicate of the map scholars believe Christopher Columbus used to plan his voyage across the Atlantic. The map clearly shows the Caribbean islands, but depicts the rest of North America as a gigantic island, most likely Japan. As Columbus made plans to sail west across the Atlantic, he hoped to find a direct trade route to Japan and the rest of Asia. What he found instead were the Americas, 2 huge continents filled with many different people and exciting natural resources. What might be some good and bad things that could happen as Europeans explored the rest of the world? Europeans might find places that have resources they could use, but they might start conflicts with other people over these resources. Throughout this unit, we'll explore the compelling question: did the benefits of European exploration outweigh the costs? To answer this question, follow the inquiry process. Collect evidence as you complete each lesson. Gather additional content knowledge using outside research or additional readings such as social studies stories. Use this information to construct an argument by making a claim with at least 2 pieces of evidence. Finally, take informed action by sharing what you learned. Let's get started.
So I want to say miigwech for viewing this video. All materials posted are the intellectual property of Teachers Curriculum Institute and used for educational purposes only. Throughout the course of this year, I want to always add that feel free to reach out to me if you're studying this at home for whatever reason and you have a question, mireland@sagchip.org or mireland@sagchipschool.net. I'm more than happy to assist. Much of this discussion, the good discussion will happen in class where we have a lot of us. The purpose of these videos will be to kind of assist those who may have missed class for whatever reason, or if you're sick or you're absent, or if you're kind of struggling with some content and your parents and guardians want to help you at home. So I hope it's an exciting year, a lot of great content to learn in social studies, and I look forward to seeing you in our next video section. Have a minogijigad, minwa, pamapi.